I can't tell you what happened there.
To trust
why
you
I
are
entered
with
the
me,
sanctuary,
even though you are
the
somewhere
altar
else.
of the body a God can get when called, and too often for little reason. But one way a winged boar, another a giant. Whatever sheen the California sun burnishes out of his body, whatever good work his thickening hand
almost
compels,
set fire to it
whatever
all.
woman he touches in the afternoon.
Then I rested. A cyclophallo said, winter said,
The ground is too cold to break.
everything
pony.
rushed past my small ears. Whir in the leaves, whir in the wing. About time to get a hammer, I thought. About time to get a nail and saw.
It gave me a way of thinking about what it means to be a person who occupies a lot of points of identity. To be Black, to be a lesbian, to be a woman, to be from a working poor background. It like there isn't necessarily a narrative in American culture that accommodates those aspects of my identity. Poems begin because there's something that I want to write about. And so I'm thinking about the kinds of images that might be connected to the thing that I want to write about. And once I have that, like I know I want to write about X, and here is the image that seems related to X in some way. Then I sort of feel my way in, and it's a lot looser than it used to be.
He sits in the passenger seat of my 1985 Honda Prelude. I am looking forward toward the shed of the house I used to live in, a house more than 2,000 miles away from where me.
That was maybe the scariest part of the publication process. Not writing the poems, but like thinking about them being published. I was like, people are gonna want to talk to me about their experiences, and I've just got a handle on mine. But I think that that is the power of poetry, and it's the power of literature is we can feel so close to someone even if we don't know them, you know, that the work brings us closer to each other, and that feels important. I needed that support where I was like externalizing in therapy some of the stuff that was coming up so that I would have enough distance when I was writing the poems. And so the poems themselves tend not to be, or at least I don't understand them as just recounting the events of having been abused, but rather the writing allowed me to investigate how I was letting that story about myself, the story I was telling myself about having been abused and how that shaped who I was, like how I was letting that sit at the center of myself. The writing allowed me to externalize that and push against that narrative. One of the things that I really like about poetry is the artifice. I like all the different things that one can become absorbed in, like, oh, what is the length of the line? Where am I turning the line? What is the shape? What is this voice doing? What point of view am I using? And that creates distance between, and that distance is really productive for me, that distance between the experience and then like the work that it takes to transform an experience into art.
In the chapel of St. Mary's. I can't tell you what happened there, why I entered the sanctuary a non-believer, only that I've been thinking about worship, the altar of the body, and supplication for some time. My thoughts turn, as they often do in this season of absence, to my wife, and how tired a God can get when called, and too often for little reason but loneliness. Of course, I don't mean God here, but rather the woman I love, who alters the orbit of my life, pulls me with the density of light toward her, the draw thinner when she is farther away, as she is now. I try to find comfort in the inevitability of science, when what I lack is faith. The sanctuary, the stained glass, 4 girls saturating it with soft chatter, small pots of stargazer lilies, a lace ribbon for each pew. This place is full of faith in the unknown, and I don't know how to believe in what I cannot see. Tonight, I will drive through the foothills and into the valley. I will try to make a little practice to trust you are with me, even though you are somewhere else.
Poetry also helps me see myself. Reading the work of Black women poets, reading the work of queer poets helps me understand that my experiences don't happen in isolation, that I'm a part of and connected to a larger community, and that matters.
Sighting, almost, Vernal Falls, Yosemite National Park. Never mind the 600 stairs carved in granite, or my guide, a man with a mustache and no concept of almost, or my moaned, why are we going up this hill at every hill, or his response that what comes up must go down, or the somewhere we've almost reached. Mind instead the 3 freshmen who breached the safety rail for a picture on the rocks and were swept over the falls by a river gorged with a melting snowpack. How they must have held each other in their descent before the Merced broke them apart. That was some time ago. An old man hiking with his son-in-law flatters me. You are only pretending to be tired to make us feel better. The truth, I have come here to learn how not to kill myself. My guide takes my picture many times as we ascend. He captures Half Dome, El Capitan, Nevada Falls, and me, a sloped silhouette before the sun.